Hey folks, welcome back to the Jonny Oklahoma Show. I am Jonny Oklahoma.
And I am Wannabe Buzz.
Awesome. Good to have you back, Buzz.
Good to be back.
Good.
Hey, Johnny, what should we do today?
I think we should talk about our 3 favorite lures each.
I think so too, and here's why. Because we see a lot of fishing channels that talk about, oh, this is perfect in July, this is perfect. And there are a couple of rigs and lures that just work.
Just work.
They're going to work in the spring, and they're going to work in the fall, and they're going to work in the summer.
When it's hot, when it's cold. Nobody has the same 3 favorite lures that I know of.
No.
I mean, everybody's a little different. Everybody likes something a little off. Different colors.
Yep.
They find a different way to fish something.
Yes.
And that's something I'm going to point out about one of Buzz's baits here in a little while because I like the way that he does this certain bait. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So I say we get started here.
I say you're first.
All right. I'm going to start with my number 1 because it is my number 1. And that is the Strike King Rage Swimmer. This is a 4 3/4 inch bait. And I love this because of the way it swims, the simpleness of the colors, and by golly, the fish do too. So you got white on one side, you got silver sparkles on the other with a clear body. Strike King did a really good job on this because the tail puts a great motion in there when that thing's being run through the water. Just swims awesome. These little ribs, a fish grabs hold of those and it thinks it's trying to get away from it. And so it just bites down and holds on. Third thing is you got these little grooves, one on the bottom, one on the top, or on the top and the bottom, whichever you want to call it. But that allows me to rig it up weedless. Now, for this, I usually like anywhere from a 3, 4, or 5/0 hook. I don't always put a wobble head on it. Usually I throw it because that thing is so thick and so dense that I love the motion, and so do the fish, when that thing's floating down and doing its own thing.
It gives it a little more natural than the sink with the head down.
Yeah, it really does. Instead of that thing just dive bombing, it just has a natural swim to it, like it's looking or searching for something. Maybe that it's even injured. It's not real slow, but it's not real fast either. But I can put that hook in there and I can hook it or rig it weedless, and the fish have no idea. I use the extra wide gap because it will drop that lure down there and expose that hook and a whole bunch of it, make it easier for the hook set. That's almost always going to be the first thing I throw. If there's fish in there, chances are I'm going to find them with that.
Yeah, the one thing I really like about those is because of the way it's constructed, you can rig it like 5, 6, 7, so many different ways.
So many ways.
So yeah, that's one of the things I love about this. Mine is an accidental find. So this guy right here, and it just happens to be the right color. It's an iridescent piece of tape down the center of it. And so when the light hits it, when you're outside in the sun, it really grabs and attracts light.
Kind of like a prism?
Yep. You got a little yellow on top, a little orange on bottom. Very translucent in the center. It's a square bill, but a small bill. So this guy tends to dive. The way I bring it in, I tend to keep it between about 1.5 feet and 4 feet. That's about how far I'll let him dive before I let him come back up. I found this on Temu because I was going to try to compare it to the brand name one that was very similar. This came in a pack of 5. Pack of 5 for $6, which put it at about $1 per lure. I figure I can't go wrong. I loved it so much, I went back on Temu, found the set, and bought another set. Now there's a green one and a blue one and a purple one, but for some reason, the yellow and orange, that catches fish. The only change I've done to it is this one, which is the second one I bought. I put 2 split rings rather than the one because a lot of times when the fish tends to try to twirl and kick the lure out of its mouth, but when you do that, it gives the treble hook way more spins before it locks. So hopefully you're going to lose less fish when they try to spin and spit it out.
You know, that's a great point too, because you don't have to stick with just the original lure. You can change things up and work with it and make it better.
Yeah. I've seen people take, especially when you have either a single split ring or no split ring, people will take the front treble hook and they'll cut the front hook off and make it a 2 hook. So when it sits up in there, it makes it a little weedless.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that. I've never done it myself, but especially when you're on the shore and you're always bringing in grass, that can be a handy thing.
At this time of year, we tend to do a whole lot of that.
All right, what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is one that I found by accident, and I'd seen one online actually, and a guy out of Tennessee was fishing with it, and it was really cool. He got a lot of strikes on it, and he said he was doing a comparison between the Walmart brand and the original. This is what they call a whopper plopper. Walmart calls it a prop bait. And of course, it's by Ozark Trails. The difference between this one, the big difference between this one and the originals are $12. You can pick this up for about $5.25. And it acts just like the others do. You got the split ring up front with nose. You pull that sucker on along the water, and this tail just spins. And I mean, it just goes, and it makes a really cool sound. And if you know what a jitterbug is, it's real similar to a jitterbug sound. But this bait, I don't know what it is about it. If I put this thing on a creek or a river where I've got moving water, I'll slowly reel this thing in. I mean really slow, because the moving water will make that tail turn, and it'll make that wobble, and those fish are looking for simple bait to grab. And when they're moving water, the bait's moving on fast. So this sucker helps slow it down. They see it, they want to grab it, and man, you talk about awesome strikes. They're volatile. It's a lot of fun to watch. They come up out of that water and smash that thing.
Yep, and that's one that when I catch fish on those, you don't need to set the hook much at all. They set it for you. They come up and grab and done.
They make that bite, I stop. I don't set the hook, I don't do anything. I just stop.
Yep.
And 9 times out, maybe even 19 out of 20, you won't just get the front hook in their mouth.
Get both.
You get both hooks. I don't know how it does it, but man, that beast is awesome.
They will attack that.
And on a lake or pond where that water's glassy, and bugs are just coming in the evening and sitting on the water, man, it'll suck them right out of there.
The one time I find that it doesn't work very well is when you've got a lot of wind and you've got a lot of chop, and it just...
A lot of chop does no good.
There's so much going on at the top of the water, this doesn't really signal the fish. But when it's glass, I just reel it in just fast enough that it starts to make that noise, and that's when I get my hits.
How'd that go again? I'm just kidding.
All right, so number 2 for me is this frog. Now, the way I rigged this guy is I have this hook here, and look at it with the paper. The hook's actually got the weight on the bottom, and the eyelet comes out the top. That way the hook always stays away from the bottom, away from the grass, away from catching all that kind of stuff. And I'll just toss this guy out. I let him swim to the bottom, and I just hop him across the bottom. And those little legs, very similar to those legs, but there are 2 of them, and they'll just kind of kick back and forth. And something about it, I've got a couple other colors, but this green color seems to be the one that they like the best. And I've caught some of my best fish on this.
Look at the different shape in these tails. This one's a circle, those are ovals.
Yep.
And they just swim just slightly different. And they're meant to do that because each one has a specific swim that they want. And those 2 do every bit as much as this one does.
Yep. So that's how I rig it. That's how I catch them. And I'm usually, as I'm pulling it up, and then I kind of let it fall. As it's falling is when I get the hits.
Yep.
So that's number 2 for me. How about number 3 for you?
So number 3, I found this one several years ago, and I love this. This one is actually kind of sad because my lip broke off. And this is a Rapala. I don't know if it's pronounced Rapala, Rapala, Rapele, whatever you want to call it. I have no idea. I always call it Rapala. But this dude is really cool. It's a great stick bait. It's got a black back. It's got a mostly white belly, but the sides are gold. And the reason I love this is because at night, oh, by the way, this one is the FG07, and I have an FG09, which is this one. It's got 3 treble hooks on it. It's a little bit longer, and you see he's got the lip on it. I'll use that one sometime. And then this one is the FG03, I believe. It's got about the same size lip, but it's only got 2 treble hooks, and it's a little bit shorter. So I have a short, a medium, and a long. The medium is my favorite, though. And the reason I love these is right as the sun goes down, all of this gold, as you pull this thing through the water, just flashes, just catches that last little glimmer of sunlight. And there's something about that color that just brings them out. I love to fish this right along reeds or tall grass coming out of the water. And it's quiet, no rattle to it. So it's silent, but it just has such a smooth swim to it. And I love these things. That evening bite, that last one that you're hoping for.
Yep.
That's the way I found to get it. It is awesome. Buzz, what do you got for us?
Well,
Number 3.
so this is something I haven't been fishing long because it's fairly new. The koike, the urchin style. So I've got quite a few of these. I found that the brighter colors that you think might attract fish tend to not. Mm-hmm. The bright whites with blue glitter, the neon green. Mm-hmm. I find the ones that match the mud and the dirt that's around, or something that's almost black, are the ones that I have the best luck with. I put a large treble hook with one of the trebles through the hole that's naturally in there and the other 2 hanging out. And what I do is I put this hook in there because these will float and the hook sinks. Mm-hmm. These sink about 3 inches a second. So I'll throw it out there and I'm counting how far I want it to go down, and then I'll just kind of bounce it in the middle of the water levels, and I'll just bounce it, and I usually bounce 5 or 6 times and I'll get a good hit. Right. Once I went to the treble hook, I was catching a lot more. Before I had a single hook on it, I was getting a lot of bites but not hooking them up. Yep. Once I went to the treble hook, boom, I was catching the fish.
So we talked about how people do things differently and how effective those things can be. A lot of people are fishing these urchins with frog hooks. Frog hooks have 2 hooks on them, and they run the eyelet right up the center of the main hole of the urchin, and they leave the hooks sitting down a little lower back down in here. And that's what I've tried to do, and I've only caught 1 fish doing it, and it was a perch. I was amazed that little bugger could get a hold of a hook. Yeah. I love what Buzz did here because that 3rd hook is there. It's holding this thing in place. But he's got 2 other hooks sitting out here that make it so accessible for a good hook set. And man, that's just awesome. Just the way other people look at things, the way they study things, and the way they fish. Everybody does something a little bit different, and you can learn so much. So pay attention to people when they talk about ways of doing things. Buzz has got a heck of a deal going on here, and that's what I love about fishing, is being able to find new ways to do things and change it up. Right. So that I get more hook sets, I have more fun, I catch more fish, and I feel like that's a successful way to live, is trying new things.
If you go to the water with an ego of I'm the biggest, baddest guy there, you're probably going to leave the water catching a couple of fish.
Yeah.
I would rather go in thinking, hey, this guy next to me knows what he's doing. I want to learn a thing or 2. Maybe I'll catch fish, but I'm going to go away with a couple of new techniques, ways that I can catch more fish, ways that I can become a better angler. I love fishing with especially people that come from different areas or fish very different baits. Yeah. Because I want to watch them as much as I'm over here, because really I want to learn to be a better angler.
That's right. That's all it's about, is learning how to fish, learning what works for you. So folks, get out there, find your 3 favorite baits. And the way to do that is to get fishing.
Yeah.
Get your lures in the water, figure out which works for you, what you're good at, and then from there, explore options within that bait.
Absolutely.
And keep growing, keep learning.
And don't be afraid to try something that might be way out.
Yeah.
You know, hey, this isn't available at Bass Pro, but
No.
on Temu I can get 5 for $6. Why not try it? What's the worst that can happen?
Or I can get 3 for the price of 1
Yeah,
by finding a different option,
absolutely.
and it works just as well.
Hey, Johnny, is this episode brought to you by American Dew?
You know, I don't believe it is.
I don't think it is either. In fact, I don't think we have any sponsors, but it's not brought to you by anything but the Jonny Oklahoma Fishing Channel.
That's right, and we're glad to be here. Hope you learned lots. Come back and join us, and we'll see you on the water.
All right, catch you later.
I think that was good.
Yeah.